Well, hello, hello. How are you doing today?
Oh, good morning. How are
Hey,
you?
Paul, how are
Hi,
you?
Paul.
Doing great. Thank you. We're so happy to have you on with us today because as soon as we saw the Angel Studios logo, we go, all right, we're in. And which is really, really a nice thing to be, kind of to get to that point. Certain studios, certain, places had to have that kind of feeling where you know that you're going to get a certain quality or certain something. And you must have felt that way when something like this comes along, right?
What other studio allows 6,000 people to put $5, $50, $1,000, whatever the money they want to put towards it, into a film that they all voted on, let it come to fruition, allow someone, a young filmmaker, to have his baby come and now is walking, it's about to go running, and it's all because of Angel Studios and what they stand for, and we are all so blessed and better for it.
How do you like being called young?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right.
love being called young.
Yeah, well, it's got to be exciting too because there's already so many people looking forward to it. But does that make you a little bit nervous too? Like, oh my gosh, here we go. Everybody's going to be looking at this baby now.
Yeah, I think so. I think, once Sound of Freedom hit, especially, it was all of a sudden all eyes turned to Angel. And what are you guys going to do next? And we knew we were next, and we knew that we were their next narrative feature to come out. And here we are. But I see that as such a great gift. It's such a great gift. We don't make these things to shove them in a drawer. We make them for audiences. And now we know that there's a large audience that is ready and wants to take this film in. And so I choose to not be nervous. I choose to be grateful for the opportunity.
And Brock has been
Yeah.
with this story for 8 years of his life and even longer than before that. And so I think the precision with which this movie has been told, and then specifically through Angel Studios, where it has to pass all these different sort of layers of the guild and get voted on and approved on and tested. There's something about this movie that if we were nervous about it, I think after the screening in Birmingham, after the screening in Nashville, and after our world premiere here in Los Angeles, I'm so confident because the response from the audience has been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
I got a text from a friend of mine, an actress, who said, I didn't know I needed to see this film, but it was such a healing movie and I needed to see it. And the message is on point. The craftsmanship with how the story was told is on point. It really is unlike anything people have ever seen before. And I'm so excited for the world to see it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And additionally, beautiful thing is that people will see something like this and they're not, something that they're not used to seeing and thinking, maybe I could tell my story too. And, so for each of you, because people look up to you and they think, all right, how do I do this? What kind of advice would each of you give to someone who, if someone wants to follow in your path?
Oh gosh.
Brock, take that one away.
You know, for me, if this was about, this is look, this is an original story. And thankfully we're in a year where audiences are saying, hey, you know what, we would like some original stories. The movies that are getting rewarded the most this year are the ones that are taking a step outside of the box. And thank goodness for that. Sound of Freedom, Barbie, Oppenheimer. These are some of the biggest movies of the year, and the other ones, the franchises, they're not doing as well. So I think if I were to give advice to anybody is, find your voice, find your original story that you want to tell. Don't try to follow a trend. By the time you actually get to finish making your movie, the trend's going to be over. And within that, you got to find a story that you absolutely have to tell. You have to want to tell it that badly. There's no way I get through 8 years and put my family through the hell that I just put them through to get to this point without a story that I just in my bones had to tell. So that's where I would start.
I mean, I just want to piggyback, Neal. It's about the story. What story do you want to tell? There's this amazing verse in the Bible that says God will use stories to unveil secrets that have been hidden since the beginning of the universe. And we know that Jesus spoke in parables. The idea of storytelling is so powerful. Everything we say, we're crafting a narrative. We want people to know what we like and who we dig, and because it's about who we are. And to tell a story like this, that's what drew, I think, all of us to the page. You open it up, you read the script, and you're like, yes, this is a story. The message is on point. So if you're a young storyteller, you want to do this, make sure you're not telling a story that's a waste of your time, make sure it's vitally important, live or die level stuff. The stakes can't be higher, because it really is. It's Frank Capra has this beautiful quote that it takes courage, and it takes the morally courageous to ask his fellow man to sit for 2 hours in the dark and hear a story that you have to tell. It's a morally courageous stand to be able to say, I want your attention here.
To talk about Capra, I mean, this is, and I've equated this film to It's a Wonderful Life. And what Chris does is he basically becomes Jimmy Stewart of this piece. I become, Barrymore as the Mr. Potter character in the film. But, if this is the type of film that you want, and it was amazing the other night at the premiere, there I was sitting next to my wife, Reve, as we helped produce this film, and our 5 young children. And we're nervous as to, oh my gosh, what are they going to think of the film? And all the kids were just staring at the screen and just so into the movie. And after the movie, they're like, Mom, I got this question. Dad, I've got this question. What about this? How did this happen? What was this? In what other place in the universe, in the Hollywood universe in particular, could you make a film like this that's a sci-fi film, that's an action film, that's a film about true romance, and a faith-based film at the same time that really calls you out to be the best version of you possible? No plus, but it's Angel Studios, the only place that would make this. And if this is the type of film that you want to see, if you like the It's a Wonderful Life type of films, if you love this kind of content, then you have a duty this weekend to go out and support this type of film, because it will tell Hollywood, we're tired of the dark fare. We're tired of just the random messages that are put out there by Hollywood. We want to make films that make a difference. And if that's what you want, by buying tickets, but you can even buy tickets for families that can't afford tickets by paying it forward through the website. By doing that, you're telling Hollywood, we want more movies like this. So please, I implore all of you, go out this weekend, buy as many tickets as you can, support this film, and it will change the landscape of Hollywood right now.
It really will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for doing what you do, telling great stories, and please, please, please keep this up, because we need more like this. And look forward to talking to all of you again sometime very, very soon. And we'll tell everybody, go to the movies this weekend and pay it forward.
Thanks,
Great.
Paul.
Thank
Okay,
you, Paul.
thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.